because today we're gonna set that neck. Woo! Welcome back again, folks, to the show. Got everything ready. The wind's not blowing too bad, so I want to go ahead and get on with this. You saw me in the last video. This angle of the neck didn't need to be changed very much at all. And I just used sandpaper and took it down to, I taped it off, measured it, taped it off, took it the thing down to where my tape was at, and I dry fitted this thing probably 1,000,000 times. Took a wet cloth, washed all the tenon and mortise out really well, took a screwdriver and got back in those little corners so I could get everything out of there, so the glue will have a chance to bond to bare wood on here and on the mortise. And plus the water, you know, any little imperfections in here, the water will help that glue to get in there. Washed all this crap off. Man, I got a lot of black, I guess it was sawdust off of there where I had sanded that, roughed it up. Scored it a little bit too. I did not run a wet cloth over this though, on the wheel. Just to make sure there's no loose fibers or loose dust or anything. And, you know, and like I say, that the water will help the glue to get in there better. One of you asked about when I was pulling the sandpaper through each side here and over here, and one of you guys asked about, well, what about the center? We have to move from the very center of the heel. Yes. So I put I rigged the vise up here, clamped the neck to the table, and took a chisel and just started, you know, chiseling that out until because it was kind of, it wasn't allowing the neck to come back, you know, and it was a good question. Whoever that was caught that. I should have mentioned it before. But I did. I had to remove material right in the very center here of the heel. And I just took a chisel and did that. And then I put the neck back on just like you saw me do in the other video, and ran sandpaper only under the heel, and did that enough times to where it, you know, rounded out to the shape of the guitar. So that all fits really well now. We got a really good snug fit. I'm not going to have to use any shims or anything on that joint. Like I say, it fits so well. This tape, I already explained that tape to you. This tape, I just got half of the adjustment rod taped up so I can get under here with a paintbrush. And I need to run that wet rag under there too first. But just so I can get under there with a paintbrush, you know, without getting glue all over this. So there you have it. Let me bring you over here closer. And I think I have everything I need here. Got a brush, got water, got wet cloths, paper towels if I need them, glue, and clamps. And I think that's it. So let's do it! Now here again, I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to show you guys, because I got to get in there to see, you know what I mean? I got a wide angle lens on. I thank you guys for that. And I'll show you, you know, as good as I can, but I don't know how much you're going to be able to see. And it's really important, like I've always said before, that I see. I mean, that is a must, you know what I mean? I have got to see. We get plenty of glue on here, everywhere, all over that. I got plenty of glue on me. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to get rags really soon, I think, right off the bat. I couldn't, what had me held up on this guitar, I couldn't get the humidification up on the body to stay up. You know what I mean? It was just, it wouldn't stay up. I got it up to like 40, what was it, 44%, and man, it would not come any higher than that. So I didn't want to put the neck on it until it got up to at least maintain 45%, you know, Finally it did. Good Lord, man. I was just starting to wonder if it was ever going to or not. Get glue under here. That's what that tape's for, to keep the glue from... I'll get more glue on me than I'm going to have on the guitar. But it's all good. I gotta get glue in here and let it run down everywhere. Only got so much work time with this stuff, as you know. So, you know, I gotta work kind of quick. It's gonna be kind of sloppy to look at, but once it goes together, get rid of all the squeeze out, it will be okay. After that. Yes, sir. This neck ain't going nowhere anymore. It has going to go home and stay there, baby. At least that's the goal. That's what we're shooting for anyways. Get a little bit more glue on that tin. Yes, sir. Better to have too much than not enough, because like I say, we can always wipe the squeeze out away. There's not a whole lot you can do once it sets up. I mean, you're not gonna, once you put it together, you're not going to get in there and wipe any squeeze out away then. You know what I mean? Still, I still can't breathe. Worth shit. Okay, here we go. I think that's all covered pretty well. I see one little place there. Get it with my fingers. Want that whole area to be touched good. Now I can peel this off and get that out of the way. And I see some other places here I didn't get glued too good, but there we go. Yes, sir. But yeah, man, I didn't want to glue the thing, you know, until it got those humidity levels up. And up to stay. Glue coming through those glue holes, or screw holes. Good Lord, man. Here we go. I do want to wipe this squeeze out away right here. Pretty quick. And, you know, like I say, you got a working time with this glue, but that doesn't give you a license to screw around, you know what I mean? You have to move rather quickly to get everything set, you know, just the way you want it. Now, like I say, we're going to use the bolt, and we're going to use the clamps, both to work together to make this happen. Okay? Now the test fits I did. Make sure that joint's in there good. The test fits I did with this thing. And I gotta leave a place open right in the center here to get a get a what, Randy? Straight edge through. Look at that beautiful squeeze out, man. Alright. Before I do anything else, I want to look at there. It's not touching the bridge at all. I don't hope you can see that. Not touching the bridge. This is good. I gotta get some squeeze out really fast here. And just bear with me. In a race with glue. Who would ever believe that? If you tried to tell someone. Racing with glue, man. Oh God, now I got glue where I didn't want any. And do this. Now that works. You want to make absolutely certain you have everything where you want it when you before the glue starts to set, because like I say, once it sets up, you're screwed, man. You can't change anything then. Right now I can still move the neck if I need to. I'll show you how we're going to check that in a few minutes. Ah, man. Racing with the clock. Always hated doing that. Whether it be with glue or whatever it's with. It's something, seems like happens a lot in this business though. You know? And I still can't breathe too well. Still suffering from the sickness I had. Sorry if you can't see, folks. I really do apologize, but I have got to hurry. I'll show you why just in a minute. Just momentarily I'll show you why that I've got to hurry. Get some of that glue off there at a later date. There's a little bit there, some here. I want to look at that fit. Yes, sir. Yeah, boy. That looks good. Okay, so far so good, right? Here's something you're probably not going to see on any other channel but here. I got a red thread right here. I tied the thread around the strap button on the back of the guitar. Okay? And I'm going to run that thread right up the seam of the guitar. Check that out. It's a little off here. Pull it right up the center of the guitar and pull it tight. And I don't know if you can see the thread or not. That's what I was worried about. I didn't want the glue to set up until I was absolutely sure we had our dead center, and we do. They make tools for this, but I haven't got them yet. And I had some tools I made to do it with. I couldn't find them. Haven't done a neck reset for a while. But yeah, just tie a piece of thread around the strap button back here. Make sure it's center of your strings here. And then you can look all the way up the neck with the inlays. Make sure you're center up here on the peg head too. And you can look all the way up the neck with the with everything, and you can see that neck is dead center. So that's good. I'm really happy with that. That's a thing you'll probably never see anywhere else but here, but it works perfectly. Now I've also got another method for this. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time showing you right now, but it's this. Carpenter's level. You plant it back here, aim it right up the center. I'll show you this closer in a little bit. Alright, now I got to get one more clamp on here. And make sure these are good and tight, and they are. And I want to check this one more time. We got about 20 thousandths clearance there, is what I measured. Or what I measured and shot for. But anyways, yeah, I wanted to make absolutely certain that that neck was centered. Because once that glue starts setting up, man, and it don't take, you know, as long as you think, really. And once it starts to set up, and your time is very, very limited then. Sorry about the head, folks. Got to get in there. Yeah, man, this guitar was dry, baby. Good Lord, man, it was dry. And I didn't want to set this neck, and it still wouldn't hold at least 45% of the moisture content in that wood. You know what I mean? I just didn't want to take that chance. Now I got to get one more clamp on here. And it doesn't have to be very tight because, and I did not have to put a shim in here either, because the guitar has pretty much returned to the shape it was in before. Remember where this was sunk in before. Let's see if we can get a little bit more squeeze out here now. Yeah, a lot more squeeze out. That's good. Check that out, man. Lots of squeeze out coming out of there. A little screwdriver again. Actually, I've got an ice pick here that works pretty well for those really tight places. I finally did get the humidification moisture content in this box up. My God, man, it took, I would have to humidify it and wait, you know what I mean? And then air it out a day and check it. Take the humidifiers out, put the humidity gauge inside, and leave that for 24 hours to get an accurate reading. And every time it was lacking, it needed more humidification done to it. Every single time. So, put the humidifiers in it again. Waited, humidified it a couple of days, took them out, aired it out, put the humidity gauge back in, and it still wouldn't maintain 45%. The most I could get was, what I tell you, 44%, I think it was. And that's not enough, folks. If I put that neck on here and this guitar was under 45% and it started to dry out more, it would start to move again and everything would go wrong then. I mean, we're talking about really fine angles here and fine measurements, 20 thousandths and so. But I did get it up to 45%. I'm going to humidify it some more. I'd like to see that up to at least, really would like to get it up to 50% if at all possible. You know what I mean? And then, oh shit, we got squeeze out over here again. But it was up high enough for me to at least set the neck on it, you know. Yes, sir. The boogity bob. I feel frets. You might be able to hear this. The frets are sticking out there because the guitar is still so the fretboard is still so dry. We're going to take care of that too eventually. Now, I've got this digital straight edge, I guess you could call it, dead center of the neck up here by measurement on both sides, front and back of it, in line with the neck. And you can see that laser is dead center. That is very important, folks, in doing a neck reset on anything, is getting that thing centered up perfectly. Hey, that looks like a good thumbnail right there to me. What do you say? Hold on. This guitar's got a set neck in it now with a bolt through it. Woo! The boogity bob. Yes, sir. I kind of use that bolt as a clamp, more or less. Or I wouldn't even have put it back in there, but it worked perfect, man. To draw that tenon in there tighter, and the clamps to shove it down in there tighter, and perfect, man. It worked out perfect. Plus, the bolt will provide extra security in there too. So when the glue sets up, and gluing under the fretboard extension here, that's going to provide a lot more extra security too as well. So we got glue here that didn't have before. We do away with those screws, and glue in the joint that we didn't have before, plus the bolt. And you know, I just don't see any way that neck ever moving again. And you do the same way, you know, if you're going to take the neck off, do it just like a dovetail. Take the 15th fret out, drill a couple holes in there till you can find that pocket. And the pocket should still be there because I put very little bit of glue on that, and what I did put on it will run down, you know, to the bottom down here. And I measured that, and I can't remember where the tenon goes back into the mortise. There was a little pocket there. They're all on dovetails too. And I measured it, and I forget what it was. It was just a tiny gap, but I put just very little bit of glue there. And like I say, it's going to run down. And if you never need to take the neck off, it should be the same process. And I don't know, yeah. What I was trying to explain there when I was doing that, and I apologize to the owner again, man. It's ridiculously long this has taken, but I apologize for that. I didn't start on it for like a week. I should have been humidifying it all that time, but that's what's been holding, the big hold up was it being so dry, and getting that moisture content inside of this wood to maintain at least 45%. I want to see it, I'd like to see it maintain 50, but 45 to 55%, if it'll do that, you know, we'll get along fine. But that's what had me held up. I didn't want to put the neck on and it holding like one day at 44% and then starting to fall really fast. I got it up to, what did I get it up to? 45%, I think, maybe 46, and it stayed there for like 3 days by itself. And I thought, well, it's time. I can put the neck on it now. But I do want to get it up better, so it will maintain 45 to 55%. And I know you didn't get a very good look at things when I was over there, but maybe you can see there. I can't see the camera, man. You might be able to see how well it fits. Get the light shining in there right. It's a good snug fit all around. Got a good angle on the neck now. You saw that when I put the straight edge. I can't put straight edge on it now because of this clamp. You see? But when I did put the straight edge on it with these clamps on, you saw it never even touched the bridge back here at all. And that's what we were shooting for the whole time. Whoo! The boogity bop! I got a rush from it, baby. I can't quit rushing, man. Too much coffee, I think. Anyways, I hope you had fun on this video and this series. And we're not done yet. We're going to put strings on it. I want to clean all this DNA off of the fretboard and polish the frets with semi-chrome polish. They don't need any work yet, but another year or less than that it will, I think, depending on how much it's played. And then we're going to put strings on it, set it all up, and buff it all out before that. Buff the whole thing. And it's not going to be very long now. The next video, I'll clean the fretboard stuff off, buff it. I might do all that before, and then the next video just set the thing up. I need to talk to the owner, find out what action he likes, and I'll set it there. And I don't have any idea what the nut action is or what the action was like. It came here with no strings, if you remember. So I'll set it up however he says. I recommend doing away with this tiny little bit of a saddle that was in there. You should be able to put a brand new saddle, a really high saddle on that puppy now. You got a bunch of saddles somewhere. I'll ask him about if he wants a bone or tusk or whatever he wants in it. I'll put in it and set it up just to his specs. So thanks for watching, folks. Man, broke out in a sweat here doing all this. And I'll see you next time. Cheers. I'm using the macro lens here, and I'll probably shake a little bit, but you see this crack starting here? Just starting out, maybe a little bit right there too. This crack is all the way through the fretboard though. If I can get out of the light and get around here and get you a shot without blocking the light. It's right here. Let's see. Yeah. Look in this area, right in there. If I can get you a shot of that. It's all the way through the fretboard. Right here is the crack. That's from being so dried out. If you keep it humidified, it may not get any worse, but I don't know. You can sure see it up here. See that? That's what happens, folks, if you don't give them a drink of oil now and then, or water. Oil in this case for the fretboard. Cheers.